we played NieR Automata was actually fairly recently. Been part of the Substravaganda. I think it was about a month ago. We had just reached the Forest Kingdom? Is that correct? I'm still trying to investigate what's going on with these robot babies that look like Ken doll Sephiroths. Obviously. Oh, yeah, whatever. It's fine. I'll get it when it actually wins on the voting spreadsheet or if it shows up again. Alrighty. How many endings are in this game total, and what are, like, what percentage of them are joke endings? How many of them are necessary to beat the game out of the total? Just reach the first kingdom. Whoa, side-scrolling. See if I remember how to play this game. Five endings? 21 are joke endings? Wow. So, like, the one where I took out the CPU was a joke ending, I assume? Ouch. Might turn it down a hair. Let's see if that helps. These days, OBS has a nice little decibel monitor that shows you green, yellow, and red, and you can kind of use that to more easily tell and compare games directly, which I used to struggle with. I've already missed joke endings? Huh. Yeah, I guess. I mean, as long as it's not like a spoiler for the game in some way, it's fine. Right, and continue. Getting all the joke endings requires you to 100% the game. Interesting. That was around the time that I stopped, I just went on hiatus again. And I was having to use an older version for a while because of WebSocket compatibility. But around hiatus time, somebody updated the WebSocket plugin to be usable with Studio. I still appreciate feedback where I can get it on sound balance, but I should be able to tell if it's like a serious problem. Whoa, this is a cool area. Oh, that's right, when you're in side-scrolling mode, that ends up on a line. Do I have some passive form of healing? I feel like I have more hit points than I should, given the number of times I've been hit. Oh, screw these guys. I'm good. Maybe they're less annoying in side-scrolling mode. Did I make that jump? Hey. Aww. Some chips are heal on damage or kill. Right on. Don't fall! Titanium alloy. Right on. This is for the crafting system that I haven't really interfaced with yet. Hooray for, directed content level. Where I feel this game is at its strongest. It does feel like very Team Eco, doesn't it? This game actually does a pretty good job, I think, despite not being very colorful. It kind of has that mid-2000s brown and bloom theme to it. But it feels a little bit more, I don't know, intentional, rather than just always on like that. for lack of a better word. Because there's certain areas that are colorful, just that most of the game is pretty desaturated. Can I get up there? That's what I'm saying. It means that they can make certain areas much more colorful than others and have it stand out quite a lot. Because the rest of the game is desaturated and brown and blue ugly. But the whole thing also isn't, there we go. It's a good way to let us know there's something we can get here.
Don't need this.
That's because we're only playing this because we beat
Don't need this.
Shin Megami Tensei Synchronicity Prologue early, 6th gen, so I didn't put it on the schedule. This was just a backup. I didn't realize that we were that close to beating it. Oh yeah, no, I'm fine with it. I don't think it looks ugly. I was actually kind of worried that games would never adopt the brown and bloom playstyle again because of all the backlash against it. Even if it's sometimes appropriate, you know? What's with that machine part chest? Maybe I can come back and get it some other time. It's the megaphone from Final Fantasy VII all over again. I don't need that now. No reason to just take it. Wild Arms is at 330 still. Everyone was using it everywhere, even when it didn't make sense. Yeah, like even Zelda was brown and blue. I was like, that game should be colorful. Guys. This game also tones down in the bloom a bit. Hey, save point. Well, kill these jerks first. Oh yeah. I'd like to be able to fight y'all. There we go. That's the button that I wanted to be using this whole time. I think it was circled, but that's the interact button. Yeah, and there should never have been any backlash against Wind Waker. I feel like the mainstream gaming community has finally moved on from that shit. Do you remember what a big meme that was for the longest time about Nintendo making kiddie games and like a game being colorful and not having photorealistic graphics was like a bad thing? I wonder if it's just that people are they're finally starting to get fatigue over photorealistic graphics. Maybe it mattered more back in the PS1 days. Or maybe that dialogue is still happening, it's just not happening among 30-year-old adults, right? Come on, guys, I just want to save. Peach. Grow up and don't engage with those people anymore. It's true. Deadly Heal. What does that do? Plug in chips. Customize. All chips. There's kind of a loot spam issue in this game, at least I think so. That's the one you get health back for every enemy defeated. Okay, and that one's extra cheap. I'll take it, that's fine. Let me go ahead and use some healing items really quick. Could have been done on the SNES, yeah. Right. I feel like you have a game like The Witness, which doesn't try to be photorealistic, but still looks very pretty. It probably could have been done back on the PS2. 2 dead bodies in a row. Probably shouldn't have healed there earlier. Hella Timiko. I wonder if it's by design. Ooh, I should get that. It's a baby! It's Bloodborne. Second time we've seen one of these.
Is this their king?
Interesting. Whoa! It's a lady Sephiroth. Oh wait, no, that's one of us. She doesn't have a blindfold. That's not okay.
2B. That's an android. A Yorha-type android.
They're talking about Yorha's turning, right? Building it earlier.
Annihilation recommended.
Annihilation?
I want to save the poor robot
But
baby.
why?
Let's go, 9S.
2B?
Whoa, he just started. She didn't attack me until he did.
We've picked up a signal from
I didn't
the
press
black
any
box
buttons
of a
to attack
beacon
her.
known as A2. What you see in front of you is your enemy.
Alright.
She deserted us. She's destroyed
Ouch.
multiple pursuit androids.
Do I have some, like, attack up abilities? Yeah.
Now kill her before she kills you.
I didn't have an option to not attack her, right? 9S just does it automatically. It seems like 2B is the more violent of the two. It's cool. You'll get boss fights in different perspectives as well. Alright, we gotta dodge that next time. It's not good. Okay. Oh, moving close to her is what triggers it? Okay. Oops. Come on. It's interesting that it's kind of fickle about when it lets you go in the inventory to heal. It's like it is almost unlimited, but not quite. I was trying to dodge it. Can you never heal on the ground, basically? Or in the air, you have to be on the ground to heal? There's a quick heal menu, it doesn't pause the game. How do you access it? Control pad. Oh, right on. Weapon set, specify. Hey, Nodovan. What's up? Okay, so I press down and then I can press circle to use one of them. I think I'd prefer to do that. Does that work in midair? Yeah, I 100% agree, sir. I feel like Dark Souls is basically the correct way to do healing. That or, like, Hollow Knight even. Especially Breath of the Wild, like... Or even have that be a setting for Master Mode where you had to spend time healing, instead of it just being free.
2B.
I'll stand still and listen to her some more this time.
Android.
Won't
A
waste the other
Yorha-type
android
android.
bodies.
Alert. This unit is currently wanted by Yorha. Annihilation recommended.
Annihilation? But why?
Let's go, 9S.
2B?
Bunker to 2B and 9S. We've picked up a signal from the black box of a fugitive known as A2.
I like that she just chills there
What
for a
you
second.
see in
That's
front
cool.
of you is your enemy.
But she's...
She deserted us. She's destroyed multiple pursuit androids. Now kill her before she kills you.
Do they? I don't think you can ever get hearts in Breath of the Wild. I thought you could only eat food to recover health. Nope. So you get that dialogue regardless, you just get to stare her down for a second. And the knockdown on that's pretty nice for some extra damage, it feels like. That skill I need to dodge every time. Son of a bitch, man. Wait, I use the item there? Okay. I was trying to use the item, not talk to somebody. Kind of a waste, but that's okay. So I can maybe summon the other one. Hit me during my animation. Rude. Looks like I can use it in midair if I use the item thing. Oh shit, I didn't do that. That's fine. I was trying to use item, but it looks like if you use the quick item menu, the circle button also activates anything that's currently on the screen, in addition to healing you. Whoops, I was facing the wrong way. The fact that that little assistance android is level 19 is helping quite a bit. I think I'm still level 15. You guys said I don't really have to grind in this game, right? Probably shouldn't be trying to dodge it. I should just stay in the middle of the room and try to iframes dodge it, I guess, instead of trying to jump in the air out of the way. Like that. Oh, far back that sends you to do that. Is she gonna get away? Later.
Why did you betray us?
She's trying to save a robot baby.
Command is the one that betrayed you.
She's probably right.
Let's go after her, 2B.
Do the androids that are like 2B... Come on, man. I want to save my game. I don't have to do that shit again. Do they have the same voice actress or no?
She's gone.
Let's say if they killed me there.
Operator, this is
Every time I
9S.
jump, I go to
Patch me
press
through to
the
the
float
commander.
button and she just falls on her face like that.
Roger that, 9S.
I'm sorry, Commander. We failed to defeat the fugitive.
I see. Well, at least
I
you're both
see.
safe. That's an incredibly powerful unit you just faced. You should probably keep your distance in the future.
Commander, why did A2 desert the Force?
Side quest would
I'm
help.
afraid that's classified.
Oh? Huh.
Oh, you have to double
2B.
jump.
Yeah?
Interesting.
Let's go ask Pascal about A2. He might know something.
All right.
Pascal,
Pascal.
this is 9S.
Oh, you survived. How wonderful.
Yeah, we're fine.
That makes
there's something
sense,
we wanna
yeah.
ask
Oh
you
no, it
about.
looks like it should still work
course.
sometimes with single
Anything.
jump.
Actually, it needs to be in person.
Understood.
Start
I'll
fishing.
open the gate we built to deter enemy invaders. You'll be able to reach the village through there.
Alright, well, let's say first and foremost, Totes classified. Jackass. Sorry to bring this out of the loot. I got a fish I want to wreck into your units. Okay. Stores in our village recently acquired a number of new items, and I want to be sure that everyone from Yorha was aware of this. Interesting. Thanks, Pascal. They're different. So they want me to go back to Pascal's village, right? Both to get the new gear that's there. So they disguise it as like a chip vending machine. That was correct. Alright, let's try to talk to the new shopkeepers. I need to buy more healing items. The shops have a special icon. Is it that little man icon over there to the left? They're on a different floor anyway. I'll talk to Pascal.
I'm surprised you wish to speak with me personally. Whatever is the matter?
It'll be faster if you just take a look at this recording.
I see. Information about this A2 android is indeed contained within our archives. We all understand her to be rather dangerous. However, she's never visited our village in person. My apologies.
I see.
I see.
I see.
I see.
I see.
I see. I see.
I
All
see.
right, thanks.
He said, I remember the
Let's
first
stay
time
sharp.
someone
Head back to
has
the
said I
resistance
see
camp.
on top of
We
the
should
I
run
see
a check
sound
on our
effect.
consciousness data and resupply.
Alright. I can do some side quests. This isn't the... Terrorizing the resistance camp. So if I go to the resistance camp, I can pursue the quests. I can't set a specific side quest for tracking, right? Here's the shops. I thought that was the main quest that I'm currently doing. It's not? Severed cables and beast hides. Let's buy a bunch of these. I guess probably not 99. Just so that I can find some in the environment and not have it say you can't get that. I really don't want to bother tracking this. XP gain up. You check the large... Okay, we check the spots on your large map. Gotcha. This guy, right? Map mode. What are the triple question mark things? Manager's requests. Current destination. Yeah, is that a side quest? I thought that was like my main quest right now. Red dots are side quests I haven't found yet. Let me see. What about these areas like here? Say Lost Girl on the Lake. Oh, looks like I can set a beacon from there. Well, I can go do it. Scrolled in the least efficient way there, I know. Yeah. Maybe a different quest. The one I have says Resistance Camp, and it looks like it's the main story quest.
S. Why did you ask Pascal about A2?
Huh?
It's not recommended to interface with machines without consulting command.
Yeah,
Oh,
I know.
to be.
I'm sorry.
Though I suppose such intense curiosity can be admirable, in its own way.
What's up, weirdos?
Thanks, 2B.
Still, machines are the enemy. Don't forget it.
Talking about this quest right here, right? Gun terrorizing the resistance camp. Demons are in there, right? Oh my god, I want to talk to these people.
It is time for your regularly scheduled contact.
This is 2B. Nothing to report.
Listen, 2B. I was looking at images of flowers today and...
Flowers?
Yeah, there wasn't much left in the bunker's records, but I found one called a lunar tear. I bet you'd look really nice if you put one of those in your hair, 2B. It'd suit your stylish looks.
Don't eat it.
Aw, don't be a stick in the mud. What kind of girl doesn't want to look good sometimes? I'll let you know if I find anything else cute, okay?
I don't need to hear about...
Operator 60 out.
Thanks. Oh, you can see the whole world, huh? I'm omniscient, omnipotent, fire a question at me. Fusion reactor, I didn't realize that about them. Uses a mysterious material. We'd rip it out of you. Take apart the enemies you destroy and use the reconstructed parts. Okay. Worth is decided according to weight of the enemy and value of the parts you obtain. We call that Unit G. That's classified. Right. I feel motion sick. Thanks! You're her, right? Okay. Alright. Yeah, we've done those missions before.
These places look familiar.
Your face looks familiar.
One looks like the amusement park, one looks like the desert, and one looks like the forest.
Now, not
Let's
quick
keep
save
our
when
eyes
somebody's
open next
talking,
time we're in
basically.
any of those
But I could
areas.
always, if I were near to a thingamajig. There we go. Must be what the problem was. Alright, let's go do this main quest here.
2B. Your timing is impeccable. Our android forces currently have a carrier deployed in the Pacific Ocean.
This song reminds me of Final Fantasy XI.
Resupply before too long. The Resistance is assisting with the mission, so I'd like to ask you to run a little.
Who's the
guard
composer
duty.
for this game?
Seriously?
What are the
Dead
games made
serious.
in?
There's a stockpile of missiles down at the shoreline that needs to be loaded on the carrier. And with all the machine activity lately, we need to stay on our toes. Of course, if you're already working on something for Yorha, I don't mind if that takes priority. Anyway, thanks in advance.
Alright, well, I guess I can check the map and try to find it. That's not it. It doesn't tell you the name of the quest in that area, right? Oh, Yorha Betrayers. You go to the center of the circle. I understand now. Okay. Yeah, 11 did have some fantastic music. Uematsu stuff's really good. Shadow Lord's one of my favorite songs in Final Fantasy. But he was pretty minimally involved. That little red dot means, maybe? Maybe I need the black dot. Oh, that was gonna change perspectives. Whoops. I'd like to play through it at some point on stream. Play through just the main story part of it. Heard that it's easier to do that, almost solo. I had planned to do it with Galactic Kodiak. Like, I had even renewed my sub and everything. I think it's worth documenting what that game's all about. It's got a pretty cool story. I played it until basically the end of the real story, as far as I understand it. Like, Chains of Promethea, the second expansion, was kind of like Wrath of the Lich King for World of Warcraft. It's kind of the natural ending of the story, and everything since then is just kind of fan fiction to keep it going. Is that what that is? Okay. Come here. Living every day in the straight and narrow? Okay, sure. It's that Koopa race. Yeah, that's the worst part. You grind in the open world forever, you can't solo anything. Actually, you can't, you need a full party of people to take on a single bat. If it's the same level as you, if you pull a single ad, it's game over. You better run to a zone boundary. That was what 11 was all about. And lose XP when you die. You can even D-level when you die. Raiding groups used to expect you to have a certain amount of like buffer XP saved beyond max level, so if you died you wouldn't D-level and waste their time, basically. I was actually cutting it pretty close. Try it again. Let's try it again. Oh yeah. Best quest in the game. Mm-hmm. And then, like, it was pretty common for a group of people to try to fight enemies at a zone boundary, so if something went wrong, they could immediately zone out and save themselves. But it was very likely that some rando in the zone would be running away from enemies, and they'd lead a train of enemies to the zone boundary, and they would just mob whoever was trying to level up there, and you would die anyway. Or you'd be spending, you know, 3 minutes killing an enemy crab or a bat or something. This is probably not the most efficient way to do this. Hey, first try. So this is a... Yes, let's quiver. I'd prefer not to quiver. This is like part 2 of the same quest.
We've got this,
Careful,
Marstead.
Poopy. I'm picking up hostiles.
Where? First try.
Overwear. Thank you. I think they've added some quality of life stuff to make it less miserable. But it seems to be that was one of the main problems with Final Fantasy XIV on launch, is that 11 was pretty successful at its time when it came out. It actually came out before WoW, didn't it? Or like right around the same time as WoW in Japan? And Yoshi P was like, guys, you can't just make 11 again. Like, gamers are not the same. They expect more. A lot of those mechanics are cancer. This is just a routing thing, isn't it? It was a contemporary with WoW for a while, but I don't think I want to do this at great length. also don't think I can climb that wall if I try to float over there. Race your way into tomorrow today. Probably don't have any easy way to climb this building, right? Really? 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 This might be the best way to do it, though, if I can make that on the first try instead of like the 5th try. I'd prefer not to quiver. Okay. Oh, you need movement speed buffs? Oh man, that is cancer. Okay. This game has too much content. I guess some people would see that as a benefit.
This machine is still alive.
So destroy it.
Maybe we should hold off. Its main drive has been trashed, so there's no way it can attack us. And we might be able to learn something interesting if we study.
+6 chips. Alright. I think that's different from the Yorha Betrayer's quest that's supposed to be in this area, but I'll go check it out. Some of the machines are hostile. Very few of them are. Most of them are friendly. There's a certain breed of machines that are making these, like, evolved Sephiroth android monster things. Do I fly in front of it? Can I, like, float down here, maybe? No, I'm actually in the wrong place for it, aren't I? Yeah, it's got way too many kind of pointless Xenoblade Chronicles style side quests. I think the game would be a lot better if it was a tighter experience, less open world crap. It doesn't do very well in that area. Alright, how do I... You said you don't want me to destroy it. Can I jump on it, maybe? Let me try climbing up here. Stand on the raised platform in front of this machine. Oh, that's what I was doing at first. Thanks for the heads up, Rob. Oh, that's a circle icon. Okay, I understand. Pristine screw.
Target location data obtained. Marking on map.
You know,
so
I'm
that's
still
also
not, sure
not the
any of this is a good
Yorha
idea.
Betrayer
The more
quest.
data we have, the better, right?
This game has a pretty decent volume of bare-ass collecting, I feel like. Not all the game. The directed stuff is really, really good, especially the opening mission. Let's see. So, I'm just gonna check for the 3rd time. I've been here for a while. It says that this is Yorha Betrayers. Okay, I'm just gonna completely cover this circle as closely as I can. I assume that I'm supposed to run into another Yorha android that I have to fight here. Final Fantasy XIV does this as well, with the circles on the map where, oh, we're not going to tell you right where the quest is, you'll have to explore this general area. I'm not sure I like it. I don't think it's ever created gameplay joy for me. It's very popular now, though. Maybe it's the same Square technology. There are 3 circles, and which one triggers the quest is random? Wow. Okay, thank you for telling me that. Wow. So it's even worse than the Final Fantasy XIV quest indicators. Even if they had like a interact with this and it'll say, I guess this isn't the place. That would be a nice solution. It only happens with this particular quest? That's even worse! Oh my god. Alright. Yeah, it's like there's this concise main prime story in this game. It's very directed, and then it feels like they gave all these teams like, okay, you do side quest A, you do side quest B. Not really a lot of communication between them. That's wild. I played other games that I like that are like that, right? Like Mass Effect 1 feels like that.
Come in, Tubi.
A lot of the side quests feels like there was
The
no
monitoring
connection between
signal from the
people
new
at all.
access point has gone silent. I'm sending you the
It's
positional
through
data.
here.
Please
And
investigate
I
the
can't
site
jump
as soon
through
as
this,
possible.
right?
Understood.
Now, what triggered that quest? Like me being near this location, basically? I don't think I can get through there at all. Black Panther's super good. Should try to see it. I guess I'll try to warp to the factory entrance and come at it from behind. I have to get on the overpass. Well, I am, like, significantly under-leveled at this point. I need to be level 22 as of the last boss, and I'm like level 15. Yeah, I used all my healing items in the process, though. I mean, I guess I bought 99 more of them, but... This isn't it either, so there's another circle. Your are betrayers, your are betrayers, your are betrayers. It's just those three, right? Photographs. So it's got to be in one of these circles that I've already been to and I just haven't run into the character yet. This one was at the top of the building where you first landed. Okay. So I can't get over to that. It's not actual material. I guess the map kind of helps to... Go over here, like that building? I don't think I can get on that building. It must be something else you're talking about. Hey, I'm excited for that. Back over the overpass. Okay, so I didn't need the overpass. So there's one that I didn't actually investigate because I went to the circle but I didn't climb on top of the building. Gotcha. So I still really like this game, but I have to say the more I'm playing it, the more it's eroding my goodwill with it. Like, it feels like it has a bunch of really unnecessary... Like, the whole leveling mechanic in the first place is completely unnecessary, right? Like, it doesn't... There's not choices to make when you level up, it just kind of affects how much damage you take and receive, like Xenoblade Chronicles. I guess it's there to give you a global reward for doing side quests and stuff. Alright, I gotta try climbing up this elevator shaft again. It's a bummer, and I'm going to do my best to disconnect my frustration with the optional components and some of the weird mechanical stuff from my enjoyment of the game in general, because it is still a very good game, right? It's not a bad enough problem to throw the baby out with the bathwater. But I would love to play a NieR Abridged that gets rid of the leveling system, gets rid of most of the crust. What a thrill. I know, right? I actually floated for once. Alright, but it wasn't to the thing I needed. I gotta take the stairs to get to the top. Are there stairs on the base floor? I thought I had to take the elevator shaft to get to this thing, and then I could get to the stairs. Stab the baby with a katana.
They're from NieR, huh?
Alert.
Okay.
Targets are rogue units 22B and 64B, currently designated for
Double
detention.
digits.
They've come for us, idiot! Prepare to engage and inform the captain!
The rogue
You're
Yorha
both
are
currently wanted
creepier,
by command
and
for
they don't
desertion.
talk like
Disengage
that,
and
or
surrender
much at all.
immediately.
Shut your trap!
So I could only do this quest after
Operator
the
602,
2A sequence, right?
be aware that the following transmission is classified
Maybe it's because there's
as
two
privilege
enemies that they're
level
both lower
5.
level.
A group of Yorha fighters deployed to the city ruins have deserted. We need you to take care of them immediately. But don't get yourself hurt, alright?
Ouch.
Yorha members deserting? And attacking the resistance, no less?
Proposal.
Let me get back to my
Should be captured
NieR
and detained
Automata
in order to
claw.
keep
Gotta hold
collective
lock on,
effect
gotta
of
hold
them.
shoot,
Detained?
gotta be ready to
Easy
tap
for you to
dodge. I got a mail about the quest earlier. Okay, gotcha, thank you. I'm kinda glad I didn't do it first. Well, I guess they had mentioned in a couple mails and dialogues earlier that there were rogue Yorhas. But they kind of shot the A2 sequence like we were surprised by it. Yeah.
Hold up! The captain is ordering a retreat!
Understood!
2B is really bad at finishing off rogue Yorhas. I can do claws. I've done. You do the claw when you have to run away from something in Dark Souls, and in basically all of Monster Hunter. All right. Oh, that's why it does that, because I'm chasing. That's okay. All right. This is how it works. No! Oh my god. I swear to God, I jump, and then I jump again, and then I hold X after jumping again, and sometimes she just falls on her face. Fortunately, I haven't died from it yet. Okay. Let's go... Has anyone else had a problem with the float mechanics, or I might just be a crazy person and doing it really stupidly? Alright, let's climb up here. Wait, so there's a third red circle that moved? It's not go investigate the two original red circles is what you're telling me, right? Tried falling away from your face. I think it's that I have to go check out the other two circles, right? I don't see any other Yorha Betrayer circles. Yeah, okay. That's why it is goofy. It shows you 3, because they have all 3 of them on the map immediately, instead of having them spawn sequentially. Okay, thanks. Yeah, I saw that. I thought maybe saving would give you a heal. Thank you, Serp. Alright, so it must be at the other one, right? There didn't spawn when I got up here. The other one is over the overpass. Maybe it's that my PlayStation 4 is on the other side of the room. It's connected to my TV in the living room, and then I run a 50-foot HDMI cable over here, so my PS4 controller is actually kind of far from the PS4. So maybe it's that when I'm holding down X to float, the signal's dropping for like a millisecond, but the way the game works, like you can't float and then let go of float and then float again. As soon as you let go of float, you plummet, and you can't regain it. I probably just haven't noticed it in any other games, because there's nothing that requires holding the button like that. Yeah.
Alert. Targets are rogue units 22B and 64B, currently designated for detention.
Damn it! I'll kill you!
You guys under here? Yeah, I kind of want to not do any side quests anymore after this one, especially if I, to Serp's point, if I can kill bosses in 2 attempts. Music cuts out. That was cool. Have I always been able to do a little super move like that? What triggered that? Was it because I dodged or something? I think I've noticed a little circle icon before. I'm probably more sensitive to bad game mechanics than most gamers are. I used to be okay with suffering through, like, grindy quests and janky quest tracking. But I think as I play more and more games, I realize that's not necessary, right? Growing up with JRPGs, you get pretty used to suffering for your story. Action only stagger, that's cool. No, I love, like, RPG and Dark Souls. It feels like ass in this game. It doesn't feel like it's well thought out.
Damn it! Damn
For the leveling system in Ori and the Blind Forest, even.
B, 64B. What the hell?
Alert. Target is forming proposal. Disable and detain at once.
Is she gonna run to the other
Please,
thing?
you have to stop fighting.
Shut up!
Yeah, see, the difference though is that if I die in Dark Souls, it's clear that the reason I died was because I made a mechanical error. In this game, it's like, well, I can heal indefinitely, and if the fight is taking like 10 minutes to complete because I'm chip damaging them, you know? It doesn't feel like I'm losing because I'm not good enough at the game, if that makes sense. Like, the difference between builds in a game like Dark Souls is so minor. Very rarely do I go, oh, I'm only doing 3 damage per hit, I guess I gotta go farm up some souls, right? That's very similar in Bayonetta. I don't really see those as being at odds, sir. It's not what I meant to do. It's okay. I think they have the same 2 weapons equipped anyway. So, like, this isn't... I'm like... This enemy's, what, 4 levels higher than me? Doesn't get a lot of attacks off. The amount of damage that I'm putting out at any given second, it just feels really slow. More than numbers affects the action skill game, sure. Right. Like, the best example, I think, is Xenoblade Chronicles. In Xenoblade Chronicles, there were several times when I was playing that where I went to a boss that was 3 levels higher than me, maybe? I was like 1 level beneath the range where the fight would be reasonable, and I ended up attempting it for an hour. You know, really giving it my all, pausing as much as possible, getting everyone's commands in, and then I would die and lose an hour of progress. Like, okay, fine, I'll go grind up by a level, and then beat it on the first try in like 2 minutes instead of an hour. I know that's a really extreme example, but
Our fellow units. Why the hell did they steal from the
this game
resistance in the
is
first
closer
place?
to Xenoblade Chronicles on that end of the spectrum, I think, of is it a reasonable leveling
You
system.
think Anemone might know something, 2B?
Let's find out.
Right. 4E was basically designed on the idea that you're never going to fight off level, right? If you're level 6, your DM will always scale everything to be level 6. And if they don't, you're going to have a bad time. Yeah, I can't use any different weapons, though, because I've already Dark Souls invested in the sword. Alright, let's not do any more side quests. Let's move along with the main story. Where was it? Doesn't the main quest show as my radar direction I have to go for it? It does. Okay. So it's due the way I'm currently facing. East scaling's actually, yeah. East and Xenoblade Chronicles have a lot in common, don't they? Race. It's cool. I really like the directed content in this game, like when you're in a level that's got the switching perspectives and you're not just given free reign to explore around. The exploration stuff, though, I don't think is very good. It detracts from the rest of the game. Yeah, I agree, Manok. Level should be... I feel like level should be about choices. Like, the way you should use level is you should be able to gate a player's access to mechanics until they've gotten comfortable with more simple mechanics is one way to do it. Or do it like Dark Souls, where it's very mild ways to tweak your build, but that the game is beatable at level 1. I thought we said in a previous session that the upgrade system was like Dark Souls. You keep upgrading one weapon and it does more damage. Whoa, that's pretty cool. I think I've done that before. Wee! Loot. Locks out side quests for a while. Is that going to be a problem from a level perspective? So far it kind of means that if I'm under leveled, then boss fights are going to take 5 times as long. So if I lose, I waste a lot of time. And what else? And I'm just going to spend a lot of healing items, but it seems like healing items are super cheap, and I've got like 80 of them now. So I'd be okay to not do side quests at all. Pretty. I always warp back here. Type 40 Lance. It is lower damage than my current weapon. Now with water. Whoa, that's cool. Cool turnaround there. Be over leveled if I go back to them later. That's okay. If it's accurate that the mechanics for side quests are like the worst part, like the actual video game part of it, and you do it for the story, I guess I'd like to just breeze through the story part. Hey D-Rock, what's up? I don't think every game needs to be beatable at level 1. I agree. That's something that's nice that Dark Souls
The
does.
bedrock here was bombed out in the last war. Looks like the whole city is starting to
something like
sink
Final
as a
Fantasy,
result.
right? Like you don't really have specific level requirements in Final Fantasy. You can be like 10 levels under leveled from what the developers expect you to be at for the content and be fine. Oh, the damage rating isn't a DPS rating? It does look like it doesn't start with more base damage just because I found it later in the game though, right? So it's still correct to focus upgrades on a single item. If that's not true, you can just go ahead and spoil it for me and tell me. I'm basing that on one of the last sessions I asked about upgrades, and someone said it was Dark Souls-like, and should probably stick to one. Spears are... I did use a spear in Dark Souls 3. To great effect. I enjoyed that playthrough. Hey! Happy birthday. Find something cool from fishing in this zone? Fishing is really neat in this game. Levels of shorthand for this is harder, this is bigger numbers. Are there, like, preset fishing locations? Do those show up on the map? Is that what those little black icons over there are? It's pretty good. I think you'd like it, D-Rock. I recommend it. I'd probably pick it up on sale. I don't know if I'd spend 40, 50, or 60 bucks on it, but... It's got to be getting close to the sale point too, right? Oh, those are just enemies. You can be impossibly underleveled in Final Fantasy games, especially if you run away from combat or...
Target missile sighted.
Is that
Yeah,
what we
if you
need
run
to
away from
protect?
combat, I guess. Most of the main series games outside of like 4... 1, 2, 3, 4, I think it's pretty easy to get significantly out-leveled just because it expects you to grind. Starting around 5, it's like as long as you fight every random battle you get into, you should be okay.
Let's take him out already so I can be home in time for dinner and a bath.
But,
Androids don't need to bathe. As long as you perform regular cleaning and maintenance, bathing is unnecessary.
Yeah.
the difference
but
in
come
this
on,
game,
TP. It still
One Eye,
feels
is
good.
that, the level calculation is so critical to everything. Like, it's the #1 thing that it checks to determine whether or not you're able to do damage. It's not even based on, like, what's your strength compared to the enemy's defense. If level is 5 or higher, then you do minimal damage. It's not as bad in this game as it is in Xenoblade Chronicles, just the problem we were talking about. Or, Ys. Every level doubles your damage at damage reduction. Yeah, that's really bad. Because it's really hard to be in the sweet spot of the game being challenging in that ecosystem, right, Serp? It's like you're either way overkilling everything, or you're getting completely wrecked, and it's not your fault. Yeah. And I think that it's probably correct to, like, have a game where it's okay to run from random battles, right? Because it fairly significantly increases the amount of time it takes to beat the game if you do every random battle. And depending on the game, there's games like, was it Shin Megami Tensei Digital Devil Saga? I really enjoyed that game. I really liked the very first time I fought a random battle, maybe the first few times, as I like figured out what's the correct order of actions I should take in order to beat this enemy without taking any damage in response. Like, that's really cool. But then at some point I was like, okay, now I have to do that same puzzle that I've already solved 50 more times as I work my way through this dungeon. And it's now just make sure that I remember to put the inputs in the same way that I memorized from before. But I don't know how to solve that. I mean, Undertale kind of had an interesting solution where you had really simple puzzles and you didn't really encounter them too many times in a row. You maybe saw the same enemy 5 or 6 times max. See ya, Plaster. Yeah, but the No Sphere Grid challenge is,
I think that's the last of the machines.
I don't think that's like something that a person can realistically attempt, like you
2B,
could with like a
9S,
Dark Souls SL1
come in.
playthrough.
Commander?
Emergency orders incoming. The carrier ship that was set to resupply has come under
Really?
attack.
I didn't know that there were
Currently
level
being
1 Kingdom Hearts
engaged by a
runs or
swarm
that they
of
were
machines.
fast. That's cool.
I've asked all Yorha troops in the city ruins for assistance, and I'll need you to provide backup as well. I'm sending flight units and coordinates now. Good luck. Out.
Right. Yeah, the fantasy of XP and level up systems is growing in capability. That's where I think it should be
Total slave driver.
choice driven.
If she didn't order others around, what
Learn
kind
new
of leader
skills,
would she
new
be?
passives.
If you say so.
Did Xenoblade 2 fix the Xenoblade 1 level up problems? Alright, I think I want to go back and save before... Was there a save near here? I thought there was one right inside the zone. Let me try to. I'm excited for my giant robot section. Those are pretty cool. They're all directed content. I don't know if this game would do, like, open world exploration with a giant robot, or open world exploration in side-scrolling mode. So basically any perspective other than this one, I'm very happy. Oh, Xenoblade X. Gotcha. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I guess my point is that I don't think that leveling should ever be included by default. Like, it should be something that's... It's sort of like a stealth mission, right? Stealth missions can be great if they're very intentional, and you can kind of detect the authorial intent behind it, but it's like, we should do a stealth thing because we haven't done one in a while. It's like, this sucks. It's not really built for this game. Right, so in Skyrim's case, if there's all this optional content, like, you're likely to... If you don't make everything scale with you, then how can anything ever be challenging? Even Breath of the Wild had that problem, right? I think it scaled the contents of treasure chests based on the like volume of enemies you had killed, so that you wouldn't go into a random shrine and get a tree branch. Oh boy. Yeah, I don't really care for the Persona system. Golden Hands in Persona 4 helped a lot. Jumping in the flight unit is the cutoff. I guess I just saved beforehand, so we'll see how it goes. We're playing for about another 45 minutes before we start Wild Arms. I guess I'd rather do something significant. I like the idea of being overpowered and running through and doing all the story side quests in kind of a mop-up sequence. Are any of the cool side quests permanently missable in this game? Yeah. I think the ultimate game for leveling balance, in my opinion, if it's not going to be the Dark Souls style, is probably Chrono Trigger. I've never felt under-leveled in that game. And that game lets you out and out avoid enemies on the field. It's not even like a choose to run from random battles type game. It can feel a little bit more challenging, but it always feels doable. Persona does a lot of things. I get the sense it does a lot of things because that's just the way it's always been done. Monster Hunter appears to have had that problem until Monster Hunter World. I saw a Penny Arcade comic review. Tycho was saying that, like, finally they made a game that, like, they asked themselves, would a human being enjoy this? Is this made for humans to have fun with? I like these sequences. It's cool that the enemies still have levels, even in these sequences. Like, they really did make the whole game in one engine. I'm guessing some of these enemies are even some of the same enemies that you fight in the open world. Now they fire more bullets. Oh, they do, and they skill your level. That's probably wise. I guess it would be awful in a radius level bullet hell sequence for the enemies to be 6 levels higher than you. I was mostly just impressed that they used the same everything for these perspective changes when they could have like made a mini game basically. Yeah, XCOM is a great way to do it. It is all about choice. You're 100% right. Shit. Can't turn where I should have shot that. Whoops. I'm gonna remember my controls here. Open world bullet hell. I'd play that. I bet that could be good. Whoa.
Attention, this is Carrier Blue Ridge 2.
Look at all those bullets down there, that's cool.
We've come under heavy fire
Now
from
it's
the
kind of
enemy.
Smash
Our
TV
escort
dual
ship is
stick
taking
again.
damage and is unable to engage. We're currently resisting with all remaining
Can't heal.
support fighters, but we can't hold them off for long.
Guess I'm getting my heal on kill thing.
We need immediate backup from any available android forces.
Working on it. Toho MMO. I'm trying to think how you would even do that. There's certain genre mashups that I bet are possible, but you got to get the right like genius developer to find out a way to make it fun. Dynasty Warriors. That might actually be fun. Dynasty Warriors is it's a toy.
I'm picking up a large
Best word I can use to describe those games.
Clicks southwest of us.
It's really cool for about 3 hours, and you're like, okay, I get it. Toho Mario. Toho Pokemon. Or Dynasty Warriors 9 is open world and bomb. Let's see. Where can I see? Oh, there it is. That's where my missile cooldown was. It's right below my character. Whoa, I should have moved. My bad. Zelda action figures. Yeah. It's like, I picked up, Drop Mix. Kind of neat harmonics board game. It's kind of a board game. It's a toy, basically. It's like they're using their stock of original song masters, and you have this board, and you can play cards on the board, and it plays music. So you like make a mix where you can have the bass from Down with the Sickness and the vocals from Chandelier by Sia or something. And theoretically, there's a game that goes with it, but it's not a game. Like, it's so stupid to play, you may as well just use it as a toy.
Didn't I kill that already?
What on? If it's that big, we should be able to see it.
Yeah, the enemy design in this game is really cool. The machines in general, they did a good job with making them look cute, but sometimes dangerous. Whoa! Robo Jabu Jabu. It's pretty sweet.
Well, that's new.
Yeah, right?
Is that a machine?
It's pretty.
It's a cool camera angle for this boss fight, too. Expect me while we're playing this game to alternate between high praise and big smiles and exclamation point quote 1 and great frustration.
Crap! It's blocking close-range attacks with EMP blasts.
Okay.
We've got to find another way to damage it.
2B, Command is attempting to launch a satellite laser strike on your target, but the enemy's electromagnetic camouflage is making it impossible to aim. We need you to find the emitter and take it out.
Oh, is that all?
I know, but it's the only way.
Yeah.
EMP generator target confirmed. Marking on map. Proposal. Destroy the generator quickly.
Shooting the giant red eyes. She hasn't played a lot of video games. It's not her fault. Link. Shoot the glowing eyeball, Link. Oh, it's a really long auto-scroller. Interesting. Guess I got to read a lot of donations, right? I think I asked this last time, but I forgot the answer. How long is the speedrun for this game? Do they do an all endings speedrun?
Go ahead.
The only known record of this machine life form is a lone sighting 320 years ago. Upon reaching land, the unit unleashed a devastating electromagnetic wave attack. All resistance fighters in the vicinity were annihilated.
So basically, if this thing reaches land, we're screwed.
Affirmative.
Just the first ending, sure. Speedrunners always eat auto scrollers. Great. I guess if I were doing it, it'd give me a chance to breathe and think about the run so far. I don't know if I could handle a speedrun that's just constant, non-stop, never a break, never look at chat. I also don't think I could speedrun without streaming it, if I ever were to do it. I just need the human interaction. 412, that's cool. This is a really cool, man, the way the perspective transitioned to this was super rad. Like, it's all so seamless in this game. It's really easy to not give it credit for that because it's, when it's seamless, you don't notice it by definition, right? It's just outstanding. I'm really impressed by it. More of this, please. My NieR Automata abridged, please. Those things die at half health. Yeah, real close here. Four documented attempts for all endings is 7 hours.
Electromagnetic interference eliminated. Preparing for satellite laser strike.
Like the actual mechanics of the shmup parts? I could see that. Like, they make it pretty easy to dodge the bullets. Hey, Ludifex, how's it going?
Oh, come on! It's got an electromagnetic barrier
It's going all right.
whole body?
I'm in the part of the game that I like right now. The directed perspective changing
Having
sequences.
trouble over there?
Are you Yorha?
Hunter Squadron deploying out of North 12th C Defense HQ. I'm the commanding officer, 4B. Don't worry, we'll take it from here.
About that. That's a lot of Yorha.
2B, let's leave this area to the reinforcements.
Remind me, what does Yorha
I
stand
have an
for
idea.
again?
You and I should meet up at the spot I just marked. We've got mortars lining the shoreline here. All the EMP shielding in the world won't help
Twice as
against
cool as
close-range
2B.
mortar fire.
Got it.
BB-8, 16 times cores. More than one B? Oh, this is cool. What I think is about to happen is about to happen. I like how she did that unnecessary backflip.
This thing's armor is too thick. We need more firepower.
2B, let's try for a more direct approach.
Direct? Oh, right.
That's right. Lay down some fire in its stupid mouth.
Alright. Independence Day style. Yo, really hot androids. Passing leaf. Cool Japanese word with the weird capitalization. Oh wow. Surprised they gave that one to me. Poor literacy is cool. Writing it NieR with the R capitalized is a style choice with no deeper meaning. Okay. Right on. I don't know, after seeing that DLC title, Eyes went all the way in the back of my head.
2B! We gotta bail, 2B. This is bad.
This game takes itself a little bit less seriously than I imagined it would, at least so far. It's hard to tell. It could be the Japanese auteur thing, right? Because Kojima's the same way. He's goofy 90% of the time and then wants you to take it super seriously for 10 minutes. And then he goes goofy immediately after that. So I imagine this game's similar to that. Also, this is a really cool boss fight coming up here. Don't shoot Pascal.
But it wound up going out of control.
Can I damage Pascal in this sequence?
Network when it happened, so I remember it. The moment it reached land, it went berserk and began attacking everything in sight. No one could figure out how to stop it. They eventually marooned it deep in the ocean, but it seems
The DLC's name is less eye-rolly now that I know how silly this game is. Cannot damage Pascal. Thank you.
Hey, 2B. I think I have another idea. You keep that thing right where it is, okay?
What?
Please, 2B. This is gonna work.
Something has no health bar. It can't be damaged.
9S is leaving the front lines. Proposal: 9S should be reported to command as a deserter.
Whoa, let's not do that.
He has a plan. Just hold on.
We're gonna rebel against the main Yorha command. What?
2B, I'm going to see if we can use those missiles back on the shore. But I need you to destroy
There's a lot of cool ways they
unit
could
on
take
that
this
thing
story
fast.
at this point.
Otherwise, they're just going to go off course.
When it comes to narrative uncertainty, I'm at a pretty happy point. I do feel like they did the exposition sequence with the Kendall Sephiroths really early in the game. Adam and Eve, was it? But I guess maybe if that's the twist of figuring out what their deal is isn't important. It also wasn't a surprise. It kind of seemed like what they were implying from the weird robot sex sequence. I feel like a lesser game probably would have milked that secret for much longer. Like Persona, you'd be like, you know, 40 hours into it and they're like, we've actually evolved, and you're like, yeah, no shit, man. But the main characters would be all surprised, what, you're evolved? That was impossible to know. One hit point wonder. Pretty great. Makes everything in the game invincible, right? The seeing enemy hit points is also an upgrade, if I recall correctly. Oh, I can't hit them when they're down. Okay. I understand. Because I kind of see what you mean, Spiky. Like, there's not too much to these sequences. Maybe they were trying to make them not too difficult. I imagine that if you go into this game not expecting a bullet hell, if it were like legit difficult, challenging pattern bullet hell, that could be a turnoff for a lot of gamers. I feel like Undertale kind of nailed that, where it's interesting patterns that aren't brutal, and that the health and healing system is forgiving enough that you don't have to be a fan of the genre to succeed in a pacifist playthrough. And if you want to do a genocide playthrough, well, that's your decision. Like, they had a little bit more design space to work with in Undertale, though. Talk about like shots that only damage you when you're moving or when you're stationary. Things that you want to interact with because they'll heal you. The little green objects. Whoops. Castle Eco, the Shadow of the Colossus. I can see them being like, oh wow, isn't this cool? Did all these bullets on the screen? Sounds like it's a pretty good game. It's like universally acclaimed on Metacritic. Everybody loves Persona. It's really cool. This is a really cool fight. This sequence is pretty awesome. Were you guys talking in height or something? This robot is 1 kilometer tall. So it's half a sovereign. For some reason, I'm really bad at estimating distances, either in metric or imperial. If you tell me something's a mile away, I have no idea what that means. But I can think of it in terms of number of sovereigns from Mass Effect for some reason. Oh, can I not move from that corner? Weird. No. 4.62 miles. I was playing Bayonetta 2, yeah. Bayonetta's pretty good. Oh, I can't heal in this segment. Why can't I move further in this corner? Is it there's just like an invisible wall there or something? Hold on. Oh, it's only the automatic recovery that triggers here. 71 degrees in February, wow. In Boston? Goodness. I don't know if it's the perspective, but maybe it's just the aiming. The aiming's like at an angle. It feels kind of janky in this section. It's kind of hard to describe. You can't just point the stick directly where you see the enemy, it feels like. 71 degrees Fahrenheit is a little warm. 60 to 70 is comfortable temperature. Maybe you'll wear a jacket at 60. Around 70, you probably don't need a jacket. You probably can get away with wearing long pants. And if you get higher than like 75, 80, it starts to get uncomfortably hot. So what's the mnemonic for Celsius? 30 is hot, 20 is nice, 10 wear a jacket, 0 is ice. So 30 is probably like 80 Fahrenheit? Oh shit, I'll die right at the end of this mission. Whew. Cutting that shit close.
Signal lost.
Uh-oh. Now I can drop off the grid and join the robots against
Organize
the
a search and rescue party
android
for the
robots.
missing Yorha members at once.
30C is 86F. Yeah, that sounds right. 30's hot, 20's nice, 10 wear
2B.
jacket, 0 is ice.
9S. Don't die on me.
How did the saving work in the shmup sections? If I had died there, would I have gone all the way back to before I first got into the the Gundam? Rolling in the deep. Depending on humidity, probably. That was a really cool boss fight. I like seeing it in the distance there too. It's pretty rad. Start fishing. I'm gonna do that in a second. Because it makes sense from a narrative perspective. It's a skill salve. Okay. Skill gauge is like my super laser that my little mag companion fires, is that right? Collects corpse, that's nice.
Catch lost.
Okay, I gotta wait more. I can just grab it the second it bobs. I didn't notice she made a little seat for herself. That's funny. This game. Super goofy. Yeah, the fishing in this game is very silly. Shoot out your little robot, you make a little holographic chair. What's the secret thing you can get from fishing here? Like how it's a robot fish too. Bo.
Purpose unknown.
Machine life form ahead. Okay. Kind of. Basically, aliens attacked Earth a long time ago, and humans had to run away to the moon. Because I guess the aliens didn't want to chase us to the moon. They're like, nah. They wanted our resources or some shit. But the aliens attacked us by bringing a bunch of robots, which are the big, cute, round robots that you see all over the game. And humans have been living on the moon for a really long time, and they've eventually built androids that they're now sending on reconnaissance missions to Earth to try to reclaim it. But we've come to Earth, and the machines have kind of overthrown the aliens that brought them here, and they've also evolved some of them to look like Sephiroth Kendall androids. You'll see if we encounter one.
Operator to 2B? 2B, are you all
So
right?
far.
Running system diagnostics. Core functionality
That's
appears
not it.
intact.
Alright, I'll keep fishing
Thank
a sec.
goodness.
Never mind that. I need a status report.
Roger that. In regards to the giant machine that attacked the shore, it ceased its resistance 8 hours ago following your missile strike.
8 hours?
However, its EMP strikes knocked out comms all across the region. We're having trouble getting them back online, which means
I don't think their
data uploading is
intent was
currently unavailable
to
in some areas.
wipe
What
out
is
humanity.
9S?
I think they just wanted Earth, so
Yeah,
maybe that's why they didn't chase
about
them to the
that.
moon.
We picked up a faint black box reading, but it wasn't
Hey,
strong enough
Chaos.
to lock down his position.
If you found something, that means he must be alive. Put in a request to the commander for immediate approval to begin a search.
Actually, the commander has already ordered us to prioritize tracking down surviving Yorha members. If you find 9S, let me know, okay?
Will do. To be out.
Back to fishing.
Han, I need you to scan for any nearby black box signals.
Scanning complete. No signals detected. However, a dynamic scanner is required for detection of weaker signals.
Never heard of it.
Said dynamic scanner may be located in the resistance
Soundtrack
camp.
in this game is pretty
Proposal.
cool.
Further information should
It's another
be obtained
mag.
from the resistance leader.
Let's go.
What did that do? Did that actually give me an item there? Somebody else's mag. I haven't played Wild Arms since it came out. It's been like 20 years. Don't see it as an item. Was it because I fished it up while dialogue was happening? Ooh. That's cute. Whoa, I didn't even think about them developing. That's awesome. Is that the first pot I could get in the game and it's from fishing? This game is silly. It's cool. Graphics are way worse than I remember. Didn't it? I thought it had, like the overworld map was more traditional 2D sprite graphics, right? But then the combat graphics are really, really bad. There's another one in the desert. Okay. Yeah, I'd be down with that. So I get back to this save point, I could work there. Hey, Robo guys. Fret not. Nothing of value here. I shall self-destruct for your convenience. This will result in a rain of useful materials. Forget everything you saw here. Oh my god! Poor robots. See, this game really excels with machine stuff, too. Makes a lot of noise, I can see your TV going. Oh, that's the entrance to the DLC area. Was that always in the game? Hmm. Soundtrack's pretty outstanding, even though it, like... Language bar appears to have been damaged. Okay, cool. Even though it's, like, not even just, an homage to Ennio Morricone, it's like the world map theme is literally ripped off from Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. It is the same melody. Nobody got sued. Oh, you can equip a different pod skill on each program. Okay, let me try it. Wait, I'm sorry. I'm not sure I follow what you mean by that. I like that I can swap those in combat that quickly. Oh, I can make both of them shoot a laser. Oh. That's what that means. Now, is this just a graphical improvement? I'm not sure that it actually does more damage than the Gatling gun. It looks pretty comparable. Where's the other pod that's in the desert? It's more accurate? Okay. So it's just a flat upgrade, basically. Ooh. Okay, yeah, that's a big deal. Why don't you tell me where all those are? I'm probably not going to find them on my own. Lasers are objectively better. Alright, let's go to... I really like the world map in this game. It's cool looking. Let's go to the desert. Just the one in the desert. Oh, there's 3 total in the whole game? Really? Oh, that we could have gotten so far. Maybe there's more later on. Double laser all the way. Three in the whole game. And one is from fishing in this area specifically. Wow. That's cool. I asked specifically if that's what was cleared there. That's just wild to me. It seems like such a key upgrade. Alright, so is this the desert? Oil field? I think that's right. Is it closer to the housing complex or the oil field? Is it connected to one of the side quests in there, or like what portion of it is in? Oil field, thanks. Thank you, Propagable. Hot tips with a Z. It's just in a sand dune somewhere in the desert. Oh, and there's a warp in the middle of it. Okay. Go try that. Bit with all the sand. Is the lack of 9S noticeable? I could never really tell if he was really significantly contributing to combat before or not. On the left somewhere, okay. That's crazy. There's even a dedicated button for them, and you could very easily not find either of them if you never fish. Or if you fish 3 times there and find the golden robot head and say, okay, that's interesting enough, I'm good. That's not it. I get another laser Tamagotchi. It's pretty good. Priorities, man. Oh yeah, that'll help. Thank you. So I'm not... I already felt like the desert was the weakest part of the game up to this point. Not the Kendall boss sequence. That was really cool. Like when you get to the little robot city and you see how far they've evolved. Okay, hold on. Assault Pod 1 location. Come on. Come on. Okay, so it's like up here. They really accelerated the robots are evolving thing in this level, which I thought was really cool. They could have been like, they probably could have stretched that out over tens of hours. Like, no, you get the point. So it's in one of these sand dunes, like over here, basically. Wow.
Is this a pod?
Hypothesis. The owner discarded this pod and left it in safe mode. Motives unknown.
Why was it abandoned? Pod, reactivate it for me. If it's usable, try to overwrite the original owner with my ID.
She should just kill all the other Yorhas and just have an army of thousands of option
Previous
pods.
owner ID successfully
Full on
overwritten.
Gradius.
Special weaponry now available.
Oh, so I was supposed to get this one first, so that would give me the explanation of how to do it. Oh, it's like a missile fire? That's cool. That's just locking onto enemies way on the other side of the map? Wow, that's kind of cool. Now this is pod raising. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god, Serp. Did you just do that? Did you set that in the previous NieR Automata stream? How do I get... Don't think I want to go in here. And I'll get... Well, no, it's a really long-ass walk. Missiles are objectively better than lasers. That's like pawn of the month, dude. I love how far away it can lock onto them. I need to just tape down my R1 button when I'm playing this game. I'm trying to think if there's a reason why I wouldn't want to do that. I can't hit fast enemies. You're a jerk. I guess I'll just put them all on the laser. Take accuracy. Thought I just changed this one. Am I a crazy person? Wait, so they can all be lit? I'm puzzled. Oh, that's only for when you use the super move. I understand. Okay. I think I can put different builds on each of them, is that correct? So I can swap between builds? Alright. Where do we want to go? I need to go look for that 9S fellow. Lovesick. Mr. Unrequited Love. Flooded City Coast. A resistance camp, right? Yeah, that's why I was puzzled. Makes a little bit more sense. They're both called Laser, right? Is there like a very low chance to get that pot from fishing, or is it pretty likely to happen after just a few minutes spent on it? Does the game point you to that in any way? Is there ever a character like, hey, you should try fishing over in the flooded coast area? Laser and Laser. I like this theme a lot. It's very pretty. Hold up. Can I get there from here? I'm not super clear. Like, isn't there supposed to be a warp point into the camp? Wait a minute. I'm puzzled, sorry. I thought there was. I thought they were all marked in blue. What does it mean if a save point is blue like that? Okay. An android maid girls and a teenage romantic subplot. You know it. It's actually shown quite a bit of restraint so far, other than 2B's thong leotard and the camera wanting to default to upskirter when you're running or climbing a ladder. It hasn't really done any of that in cutscenes. Like, I love myself some Metal Gear Solid, but Hideo Kojima is really abusive about that privilege. Very eye-rolly. Teleport refrigerators. Yeah, they're like vending machines that make new androids. So when you die, your brain gets uploaded into one of the vending machines and it spits out a new 2B. Is there really an achievement for it? Well, because they acknowledge they know what's going to happen. Like the camera's like focusing it most of the time when I'm running like now, right? Like it kind of, instead of it, this is kind of my natural camera angle is more like this. And in order to maintain that, I'm having to like tap the right stick a little bit. The natural camera angle, if I don't press anything, is this. Borderline like in the ground looking up. I didn't realize that I've been doing that the whole game. I've been subconsciously tapping so I can see the game world better. Just make a million and trivialize everything. I think it's because it can only hold one brain at a time. Like an Android brain is still pretty complicated. My understanding. Almost out of order. For reasons.
I'm looking for something called a dynamic scanner that can detect black box signals. A dynamic... Oh, you must mean the one the twins built. I think they're just back from an expedition, actually. You should see some red-haired androids over there. Try talking to them. 2B. Those twins, they... Yes? Actually, never mind.
What do you want? Easy, Devila. There's no need to be so confrontational. And you don't have to trust every idiot that wanders by.
These people are all androids too, but they're not combat androids like I am.
Can we help you?
There are no humans on the Earth. At least I don't think I've ever met a human in this game, as far as I know.
I need a scanner that can detect faint black
Even
box
my little
signals.
moon-based thing,
Yeah.
satellite-based thing,
I was tinkering with something like that a little
doesn't have
while
any
back.
humans on it to my knowledge.
if you
They
want
sell
it, it's
unique
all
chips.
That chip should help with your search. Once you install it, it can detect black box signals.
Are they
less
worth
objects,
spending money on?
all manner of things.
Quest objects.
You'll hear a sound whenever it finds something.
And if it ever bugs you too much, you can always pop it back out.
Let us know if there's anything else you need from us, okay?
And don't think this makes us friends.
Oh, Devila.
Alright, we'll take a look. Scanner. Yeah, okay. Right on. Now, if I have all three of them have scanner, that's pointless, right? Yeah, I guess they're not supposed to, but they totally do. Time slows when near enemy projectiles. Huh. Combo continues while evading. Strike enemy bullets. So we can already make bullets disappear by striking them. This makes the existing pink bullets also detonate and do damage when you shoot them? Or does this let you destroy the purple bullets? Ooh, sounds... That's... Oh my god. Yes, please. Costs 6, though. Oh, it's such a good... I just want all of these. Just have everything on the menu. Yeah, that sounds fantastic. I could tell immediately that that was the pretty neat one. Plug-in chips. Alright, so I gotta clear out some space here. So my equip chips again. Don't need my, well, I don't need the XP gauge. Who cares? Don't need the, well, maybe I can. Don't know if I even look at the objective text. Or the text log. Wait, is that subtitles? I have to turn subtitles on? Is there a way for me to, like, auto-defrag this thing, or do I have to manually move everything? I think I bought all the space that they sell here. Is there somewhere else where I can buy them? I've been wanting to spend all my money on buying space, but I thought I'd already done that as much as possible. Optimizes auto-defrag. Oh, I guess not. I bought a lot of them, but not all of them. Thanks. Probably all that I was able to afford last time I was here. Alright. May as well put these back. What's that kind of gray looking thing in there? Hold on, I kind of want to unequip everything. Is that easily doable? Now that I've got so many additional ones. I just want to unequip everything. Let's not do the OS chip again. Removal means death. Okay. Let's do this. So, probably just turn all these back on. Don't need the XP gauge though, I can definitely skip that one. Is there a reason I'd really want to swap between them? I guess I'm side questing max out move speed. I have to go in the menu to switch between those presets, right? Damage values is mandatory. Auto hideout HUD elements. I don't think I want to pay for that. Does objective show you the thing on the mini-map or something? I don't know if I've seen the text for that. Auto collect, evasive. Item. Moving speed up +3. But, okay. After 6 seconds of not taking damage, restore health per second. Oh wow, that's way cheaper. What does the little black diamond mean next to one of these things? That was actually as good as I hoped it would be. It's the minimum possible cost. Okay. And the different move speeds stack, right? Or is it just the one that gives you the biggest boost that counts? We are at time here. Let me finish equipping shit. Stack up to a cap. Okay. How much do I have remaining here? 4. Let's do the drop rate. That's fine. Does it tell you whether you've reached the cap or not? Is there like a display on the screen somewhere? Can't quick save in town. Hold up. Wild Arms is coming up. I gotta go make it to a save point. Can only save at places where vending machines or the main character can come back to life, basically. Okay, just go straight forward. Gotcha. Okay. It's not so bad. Like that auto pickup, man. There's so many of those little items, too. Seems like there's a fairly reasonable radius as well. Is it down? No, it's up here. They don't have shop over their head. Oh wow. Yeah, that's such a valuable upgrade given the volume of crap lying around. Alright, that's time. Give me a few minutes. I gotta pop up and swap to the PS3 so we can play Wild Arms, since those don't transfer between games. No, it is. That's what I was just saying. I had to get to a save point because it's NieR Automata. Alright, we'll be back in a little bit.